Wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's dreaded Rose. It's hump day. Let's get humping. Alright, WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar will become the 14th superstar in history to hold the WWE title for a total of 1 full year this week. I say for a total. Just thought I'd let you know. Anyway, there's been talk that within WWE about 6 to 8 weeks now that John Cena is still having trouble with his shoulder, but now is having more problems with his neck. And these are long-term nagging issues that Cena's been dealing with for a while. And of course, you try and work through it, take a pain pill, and see what happens. And it's also said there's a lot of people in WWE keeping an eye on Cena to see where he's going to be going forward in his regards to acting and not as much wrestling. Don't think he's been all that great on the acting part, but there's also NWE who says Cena appears to be in pain, and they believe that Cena's slowed down physically in a in the way he does moves and stuff. Of course, that's okay. There's a lot of speculation in WWE that Batista may not be back, as he's experiencing major success with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, that's only one movie now. Don't get too excited. One WWE source noted to PWI Insider that the company ignored Batista being in the Guardians of the Galaxy because he wasn't on their TV show as a TV performer. Now, they've done that with Mick Foley a bunch. He's not on there as a book writer either, but they've had Foley back on there many a time advertising his books. So, but anyway, apparently, here's why: Guardian of the Galaxy producers didn't want to buy WWE advertising for the movie. One source in WWE speculated that Marvel didn't want the movie to become a wrestler movie. They wanted the focus to be on the other 2 or 3 people. There's also a feeling at WWE that the company downplayed Batista in Guardians because they felt he was not coming back anytime soon anyway. But they did do advertising during Raw and SmackDown of the movie. RVD officially wrapped up his current WWE run last night in the tapings in Ontario, California. RVD's last match will come against Seth Rollins on this week's SmackDown. RVD's deal with WWE set him up for 90-day intervals, but he worked a little bit of overtime this time. So he'll be gone for another about 3 months or so. And noted before that Bad News Barrett is being advertised for the WWE tour of Europe in November. Barrett has been told he's clear to wrestle in December, that are hoping to get him into November so he can wrestle on the tour. And Dark Main Event, after last night's taping of SmackDown in Ontario, saw Kane and Seth Rollins attack Roman Reigns. Reigns came back with the Superman punch for both of them, cleared the ring, and the end of the show set everybody happy, except those two. The great Khali turns 42 years old today, while former women's champion Jazz, remember her, 41, and Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter turns 66. I got more on Slaughter here in a minute. Seth Rollins and John Cena in street fights are being advertised for the WWE live events, and their scheduled September 28th event in Moline, Illinois, and The Miz versus Ziggler for the IC titles also being advertised. But WWE Hall of Famer Sergeant Slaughter, he was released from the hospital last week after being admitted I think the weekend before, if I remember right, like August 8th, for a reoccurring bleeding ulcer. Sergeant wrote on Facebook, he said, "My doctor finally tapped out, and I said I could be leaving the hospital, so I let him out of the Cobra clutch. And thank you for all your concerns, well wishes, as you were, carry on." Alright, little bit of news here. Don't know how much to read into this, but I'll read this. It says, stated on Tuesday's episode of the WWE main event, that RYBACK is out with an injury. Prior to facing Curtis Axel, Adam Rose told Axel in the backstage segment that he's sorry to hear about RYBACK's injury. I think they should have had Bo leave, said, but anyway, RYBACK wrote the day before on Twitter that he was going away for a while. to get some stuff fixed, and the message also figured in an image of Ryback's action figure standing over Punk's action figure. He deleted the message shortly afterwards. Anyway, Comedy Works in Denver announced that Mick Foley's comedy show was canceled for August 31st. It was scheduled, but now it's not. They noted that Foley has been suffering from an injury that requires some major surgery this week. Foley tweeted, "How bad is my back? Bad enough to cancel my Denver date and Santa Claus school too." He said, "Hurting bad. Sorry, Colorado. Hope to reschedule." Dark match for tonight's, if you got the network, the main event, and SmackDown tape in Fresno saw R-Truth defeat Fandango. Dark match between Big E and Kofi Kingston defeat Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. Xavier Woods was at the ringside with Big E and Kofi Kingston. They worked as a babyface though. Roman Reigns taking on Bray Wyatt has been announced for Friday's SmackDown. Mark Henry and Big Show taking on Luke Harper. Eric Rowan is going to be taking place too. Oh, I had some big guys in the ring in that match. All right, a little bit more on Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett reportedly headed to scout potential buildings for TV tapings in New York, Dallas, and Los Angeles in September. People close to, you got to have a high ceiling when you go into get a wrestling ring in there, by the way. People close to Jarrett and Global Force Wrestling say negotiations are still underway for the GFW TV deal, but they're moving slowly, and the promotion hopes to have something locked in. They wanted to buy now, but they don't. There should be more announcements coming soon in regards to Scott D'Amore's involvement in GFW and the company's relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. The whole process of launching GFW is going to be a lot slower than officials wanted. Of course, if you got your money invested, you want to get some money coming back in, payback quick on them. And now, that's a good point on this of Global Force Wrestling. If they're in all these overseas and stuff, it is going to be a global wrestling product. And maybe if they have a world title, it'll be a Global Force world title, which actually would be all over the world being offered. So I don't know, maybe we'll have a sort of like NWA used to do years ago, go around the different territories and things and offer the World Heavyweight Championship then. But should be a good deal if they can get it off the ground now. They got to have a TV deal, got to be able to promote that sucker that way. So I hope they'll have some good luck with that, and maybe if TNA has no hardships with them, maybe after the first year or so. I know they want a TV deal, but before then, Global Force could go over there to Spike, maybe, but TNA might have left a bad taste in Spike's mouth. So, thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.